Listen-only mode.
Well, good morning, good afternoon. Welcome everybody to Community Leaders live demonstration. We're always excited to have you guys here today. My name is Matthew Daniel. I'm Community Leaders point of contact for qualified business organizations and individuals that are looking to run their own equity or debt-based crowdfunding platform. I'm so happy to be accompanied by two Community Leaders team members today. We have Joseph Berzanzi, Community Leaders CEO, and we also have Sarah Kruger accompanying us today, which is Community Leaders Community Liaison. There are several different experiences using Community Leaders platform. There's an intermediary, an admin, issuer and experience, and an investor experience. But today we'll be focused on going through the portal operators experience. So first I wanted to go ahead and ask Joseph a question, and which would be, well, good morning first to you, Joseph. How are you?
Oh, well, great. Good morning to you. I feel like this is one of our earlier ones. There might not be anybody on the call who's in their afternoon. And so we're getting folks nice and early today to talk about the portal operator experience.
No better way to start your morning. No better way. So, Joseph, what is the role of the portal operator?
Well, the portal operator runs the portal. So what is the portal? Portal is one of those ambiguous terms that means lots of different things for different folks in different contexts and based on what type of securities are being sold and by who. But fundamentally, the portal is the front end of the marketing where the solicitation and sales happens. Depending on how you want to define it, the portal can also include where the sales fulfillment and settlement happens. And our platform is the engine that drives that. So the portal is the online place where all of this happens, where investors register, qualify, get accredited, can view investments and opportunities, where issuers are onboarded through an investment council or through an issuer application. And the portal organizes that and provides different views for different people based on what their role in that portal environment is.
And who does Community Leader imagine the portal operators to be?
Well, that's a great question. Who we imagine and then who they really are. And obviously we are actively selling portals, supporting portals, launching portals. So we have a good idea of who they really will be. And the portal operators are the people who are currently raising money for businesses. They're folks that are currently working with businesses and connecting them with investors. They are individuals who work with investors to ensure that they are in a disciplined way managing their alternative investment portfolios. And the Community Leader platform supports a portal to do that job easier, to make it more effective, to integrate the solicitation, sales, and support functions all the way through the spectrum. So the portal operators are the people really doing the work. And they very often are the sole proprietor of a company running a portal. They might also be the administration and the servicing broker and the business development experts on the back end that have the day-to-day communication with the day-to-day communication with the issuers, day-to-day communication with the asset managers and the investors.
So also during today's demonstration, we'll show you the front UI experience of a portal operator, and then we'll also be demonstrating the back end, our robust, which we call Alphasista, which is your investor and issue relationship management engine behind Community Leader's comprehensive funding solution. So Joseph will be showing you a little bit about that. So I'd like to shift the screen over to Joseph here so we can take a look at the portal operator experience.
Fantastic. So, Matt, this is our first demo of the portal operator experience. Our demos have changed over time as more and more functionality is brought into our applications. And we realized we were trying to jam too much stuff into a very small time period. So we're now focusing on different aspects of the platform, and you can go to our YouTube channel and see the investor experience or the issuer experience. And each time we do them, we highlight new features. One of the huge benefits for our customers, our clients, is that they are purchasing a software and service license, and it's a SaaS, it's hosted online, which means that we're constantly updating it with new features and new functionality. When the new rules come out, we are able to quickly shift and adapt the platform to reflect those new rules and regulations. So we have a lot of different kinds of portals. Those that are like Funded Nation that are run by broker-dealers, Investor Arts run by hard money lenders, Next Gen Capital run by business development experts, Varoom Bank run by auto finance experts, or Breakaway Funding run by a former community bank president. And each of these different models has a different business model behind them. Each of these different portals has a different business model behind them. And they are providing different types of services to their clients. And because of that, they are using the back-end service and resources of the application in different ways. So when we talk about the comprehensive ecosystem that is referred to in this top part, Apicista, which includes the issuer application, the investor application, and the portal admin, we're really talking about a customized view by the different people involved so that they can do the right projects at the right time. The the portal admin logs in the same place that an investor would log in, the same place that an issuer would log in. The view that they see is recognized by their unique username or email. So I'm logging into the demo account many of you have seen, which is at sandbox.communityleader.com/login. If this was your account, it would be your URL. So some of our folks have continued to use the Community Leader URL. So it'd be fundednation.communityleader.com/login. But others have chosen to completely white label it, and it would be portal.fundednation.com/login. So you'll notice on the login screen that this is branded with our look and feel. And when this is your login screen, it will be branded with your look and feel. So I am going to enter a username that I can just remember. Oh yeah, Larry. Let's go in as Larry. Larry is going to come in two different roles inside the back end. And one of the campaign manager back end views is called the manager. And the other one is called the admin. And I can, some users can be both. So Larry is both an admin in the system and a manager in the system. So he can toggle back and forth between the two different views. There's also a broker-dealer role in the system, or a resource provider role in the system, and an individual could be those multiple roles and toggle back and forth between the different views and the different functionality of each of those. The campaign manager has their own account on the system, and they are an individual who are working with the businesses and or the offerings, the assets, the investment opportunities on the platform. So this is Larry's account. He can upload a picture for himself that will be seen by the issuers that are associated with him, and his direct contact information so that people can communicate with him directly. He has access to changing his password, and also seeing part of a little bit of a view on the compliance security infrastructure behind our scenes. He can see his last recent logins so that he can see where he's logged in and make sure that there's no erroneous logins or weird suspicious activity on his account. This is all part of our security compliance infrastructure, where we keep track of everybody on the system, what they do, when they've done it, what IP addresses they're coming from. It's part of both the security we provide and the compliance. Manager can view all of the different opportunities that are assigned to them. So it looks like Larry's carrying a pretty big portfolio here of sample and completely demo activities. He can sort them by name, by the company that they're associated with. We do have a model that an individual company could run multiple offerings at the same time, which is consistent with the new rules for the 506C, but more importantly, the projected rules associated with Reg A Plus and equity or debt-based crowdfunding, which will allow you to run concurrent campaigns under different securities exemptions at the same time. So you could run a Reg A Plus raise on this platform while also doing a 506C raise. You could do a 506C raise while also doing an equity crowdfund raise. So it's built right in. And then there's the different stages of each of these campaigns. These are the ones that are in development. These are the ones that are being executed, meaning not that their heads are being chopped off, but that they're actually out actively raising money. The final stage would be a support or continuous. And the continuous offering is one that is ongoing and open to raising money. So it's in the execution stage, and it's also supporting existing investors. So it would be in the support stage. The manager, our beautiful manager here, Larry, can also search by any of the keywords that he wants to find his offering. And there's ABCD Holdings. He can also search for just the equity, debt, convertible debt, or guess what? On your portal, you can create these search fields to be whatever makes sense for the best view of your specific offerings. So then the manager can click that offering, and they're going to see all of the great information associated with this offer, from the settings of the offering, the profile on the social media profile of the company, the issuer, the users that have been associated with this offering, the escrow that has been assigned to this offering. So there will be two escrows. One would be the escrow associated with the issuer, their trading account, their business account, and then the raise escrow, which is automatically developed, set up as part of the onboarding process when the first money moves in. It's part of our integration with BankBox, seamless integration with the BankBox functionality, so that our portal operators and the broker-dealers associated with them never need to touch the money. They're never touching investor money. It's always moving through a compliant banking environment. This is the due diligence tasks. We're going to look at these in much more detail, but these are the tasks that have been assigned to be done by this issuer prior to being ready to launch. So we can sort these by the organizational structure tasks or the raise tasks, and guess what? Absolutely, on your portal, you'll be able to have any variables there that you want that are based on the project sets of your tasks. Each of these tasks that are presented to the issuer, you can structure and write out and customize for them. They can upload information. You can have auto-filled, entered information, and then the campaign manager will be able to approve or reject it and write a notes as to why. So good job on this task, and now that will be forwarded to the issuer through the issuer app directly to see, yep, I got that project done or that task done. I'm one step closer to having everything done. See, now that it was approved by the manager, the status on the back is green. It's successfully completed. We have multiple different review options. We can have an issuer auto-load the information on their own without needing approval. We can have the issuer auto-load information that needs the campaign manager's approval. We can have stuff that needs both the campaign manager and the broker-dealer's approval before it is locked in and finalized. So each task, each project can have workflow rules for authorization and review. This can be used in both the building of the offering document, sometimes called a PPM, not always, but building that offering document, or it can be part of the due diligence process where the issuer has already loaded a previously developed offering document, PPM, maybe a 506 opinion letter, directly into the system. This can be used with the issuer application, meaning that the issuer is accomplishing these tasks. It can also be delivered as an investment counsel, where here the manager is completing these tasks as well. I'm going to show you how the completion of these tasks build out the overview in the tombstone, but I'm going to actually pause, take a breath, and Sarah has a question comment for me.
Yeah, I guess a high level of what we're going over here is that the manager position may or may not be the next role that we're going over. Really what you're seeing is an approval system of who approves what task and what they can view and how they can approve it and what comments they can make on that. The manager position here, because I actually do work on training in the portal operator managers, what we're doing is we're able to see these tasks, approve them, and send them back over. It's a way to kind of segregate and, give those tasks to that specific user as needed. I guess that's really all I have to say, and I will definitely walk you through as a client to go through this system, make sure that you understand what needs to be completed on your end, what needs to be completed on the issuer's end, and the admin, and whatever resources you bring into that entire workflow.
Thank you so much, Sarah. And so much of this is customizable and pre-configured, but it's also part of the onboarding process of our new clients is really structuring and getting it ready to go for you as much as possible, since you can change it as you move forward. But our team, Sarah, Matt, Mahendra, Justin, will really be able to configure the platform to work the way you want out of the gate. I thought while Sarah was talking, I thought I would just quickly jump here. This is the version of the issuer app where you can see those same due diligence tasks showing up here. Remember the business filing that we clicked yep, and the shareholder review, clicked yep. Blue marketing review means that the issuer thinks that they've done them, but the manager on the back end hasn't approved them yet. If we were to go to ABC Holdings, I think that's what this one is, on the other side, we would see that that task had been asked to be done but wasn't. So this is kind of where you see, this is the issuer view, the issuer dashboard, their offer, their resources that are associated with them on the system, their account information. The same view of this information is right here associated with this specific offer, which has been assigned to this manager. So just like the issuer is building this offer overview with content as they complete the answering of their due diligence tasks, the manager on the back end sees that same overview being populated and has the additional capacity to edit it and change it so that they can customize it to match what's going to be the best presentation for ABCD Holdings on their platform. If there's an investor benefits package, they could add that here. If there's additional documents that need to be uploaded, they can add them here. If they'd like to swap this beautiful static image for a dynamic video, they can enter the Vimeo ID or the YouTube ID directly here, and it will be now a video. presented to the investor on the front end. Matthew, do you have a question while I do something else here, kind of fun?
Yeah, no, absolutely. It pertains back to the front-end portal marketing websites. The question is, are they templated sites, or are they completely customizable portal platform sites that we provide for our clients?
That's a great question. So those front-end marketing sites are included. We have a great design team. We'd be happy to custom design these in whatever format and structure you want. These are not templates. This is not a list of 4 or 5 templates for you to choose from. Our team's job is to find the best way to communicate your message. So if you don't like the standard orange buttons that everybody seems to be using right now, and you want to present your information in a different way, I'm fairly certain our design team will be ecstatic for the opportunity to do something out of the box and completely different. But we do include in our bid the development of this website, and we are more than happy to integrate with an existing website or an existing look and feel that you already have. We can develop great logos for you. Many of these that you see here were developed by our team. I'm more than happy to work with logos and a style guide that you provide us. So NextGen Capital provided us logos and style guides. We built this website out for them as per their business requirements. And Investor Arts, we designed it from the get-go. Funded Nation designed it from scratch based on a client onboarding process. You know, I just wanted to show we're looking at the portal operator experience here, but I just logged in to the same sandbox as an investor. And you can see the, here it is, that same ABC opportunity. You can see the same field, same view for the investor to see. So the same information viewed by the issuer as they built out their information, seen by the investor, and then seen here on the back end by the portal operator. Sarah, you had a great question for me?
Yeah, it's about if the manager and the issuer make changes on the due diligence items, is there an audit trail or are there multiple versions archived?
There is both multiple versions archived and an audit trail, depending on which type of information it is. There is always the audit trail. So there is always the record of who changed what, when, where, why, and how. And then for documents, there's the version control of the documents to ensure that only the latest version is being presented, and it's the same version being presented to everyone. We have a variety of different views of this information generally available. One is called the overview. It's the standard overview page. It can be, it is currently, for most of our sites, hidden behind the registration wall, where the tombstone view can be outside of the registration wall. So you can send this registration or this tombstone around to people who haven't registered, and then you collect their basic registration before you show them the overview. That workflow is flexible and can be changed. So if you want people to be able to see the tombstone and as an investor click it and then go to the overview before they register, you'll have that option as well. It's part of our next upgrade on the investor application, so that you'll have much greater flexibility to support the new solicitation rules associated with the 506C and with Reg A Plus, and then the equity crowdfunding coming down the line as well. So you can change it as well, that some tombstones, depending on the investment, or some overviews will be able to be seen based on the investment, and other times they'll be able to see the tombstone and then be required to register. So once again, all of these different fields are editable by the campaign manager on the back end based on templates that have been built and designed. Those templates have been built and designed initially as part of our initial deployment of your portal to match what you want to do. They are actually also built and designed by you or by the admin of your site. So now I switched from good old Larry the manager, who could play with and work with the offerings that were part of his portfolio that he worked with. So it might be an asset manager, and these are the different real estate projects that he's working on. And I've switched over to the admin view. And different companies, those might be different people. Sometimes it might be the same person, but it's a different view of the process, right? So the portal operator could be made up of both of these or together the same. I'm going to show you the functions here for the admin. You can see that there's a lot more and additional functions. I just want to jump over here to the offer builder. You know, we were looking at an equity-based raise at the overview page. You can see here for this portal is the template, the pre-constructed template of the overview page for an equity offering. You can see this blue allows the admin to turn off or on specific fields, auto-generated fields as they want, and they can add new ones as well. So you could add a new field that you wanted here. It would have to be one of the fields from the selected and available list for that categorization. That way we're able to keep the search and sort fields working and make sure that it's properly auto-populated. But these are where we pre-configure these display views for you with the different templates so that your portal can have a different look and feel and be dynamic and be unique in the marketplace. And this is where you as an admin of your site, with the support of Sarah, Matt, Hendra, will be able to adjust and change your site to respond over time to the changing market. Matt, did you have a question for me?
Yeah, I did. It was a question as far as you mentioned earlier about security, as far as where this information can be stored and as default where it is stored.
So it is stored in our data center, which is a Tier 1 commercial audited, secured data center. It's actually a data center co-located with some of America's top companies. Of course, we all know that that's not enough in and of itself. There needs to be redundancies and backups. We do daily backups, weekly backups, monthly backups, backups to tape. We've got all of this data saved and resaved in multiple places. As part of that backup process, you could receive copies of those backups if you additionally needed them for your own record keeping. Of course, the data is recorded and saved in the format of our applications. All of the data is owned by you. We don't own the data, and we don't have in our business plan to be making money off of your data. We think that it's critically important in this market space that private businesses have a confidence of knowing that the information that they add is their private data, and that investors who are loading information, making decisions, know that that is private data. So that's the security. We additionally recognize that there is often third-party providers involved in a process who have their own storage, document storage requirements, especially broker-dealers, and that they may have their own protocol. We will work with them to build confidence by their compliance teams that the storage protocols in our system can be immediately accessed by them and will meet their business requirements and their compliance requirements. And if that's insufficient, we can provide both either a export function of the data for their recording purposes as defined reports, or we can provide real-time data feeds directly into the applications of their choice. So obviously all part of the customization process. So the admin has a great dashboard with, right now there's 2 widgets here, the number of investor or the user types that they have and their investor pipeline across all of their offerings. These widgets are constantly being added and upgraded. There's going to be a whole bunch of very functional ones that our current customers have requested deployed here so that you'll be able to sort this investor registration by the specific offerings and view that. This is the same view that the issuer would have of their own investor registrations, but we really want this dashboard to be functional. It's designed for a mobile application, designed to be used on an iPad or a smartphone, and that these will line up really well in kind of a vertical format on those phones for easy access, fingertip information. I'm going to go through all of these in slightly a different order than is presented, but this is the basic settings and configuration of the portal. There's multiple tiers of configuration. These are the ones that the admin has access to, and through and with our support team, there's lots of other resources that they have access to as well. These are all the different users on their portal. So this is the view of the investors on the portal. This is the view of the different issuers on the portal. This is a view of the different resource providers, your law firm, your accounting firms, your design and creative teams. All can be resources on the platform that tasks can be assigned to. You can actually provide them a unique username and password for them to access the system as well. These are the different managers on the platform. Hey, there's Larry. That's me. Woohoo! I guess I'm the only manager on the platform. And then there's the broker-dealer on the platform. C-Trade Exchange is our house broker-dealer, and our house broker-dealer can serve the role of a registering broker, a managing broker, a servicing broker, a clearing broker, whatever services you need from the broker-dealer role. We've got a preferred vendor built into the system who knows it and knows how to use it and can really make it work for you financially. And then these are the admins. So there's Larry again. There's another admin user as well. I can add users from here. Obviously, there's front-end widgets off of the marketing websites to add investors or issuers. That registration process will automatically add an investor right here. I'll show you that real quickly. Boom, boom, boom. Log out. Right. Oh, don't have an account. I would like to sign up. So here I am as an investor signing up. And then this will obviously automatically load them as a new investor in here. But, you know, folks don't always like to use the internet, and older investors may not feel comfortable using the investor, or that really, really rich guy who's willing to write you a check but doesn't want to go through the rigmarole of online. You still want to be able to use the online platform because that's how you're managing your business. Your manager can just add them right here on the back end, adding an email, a password, and the investor account right here from the back end. Every one of these investors has a quick profile of view here as well, and then a far more detailed profile on the intermediary's back end. Show you that in a second, but I'll show you here on the quick front end. It's the contact information. It's their basic profile. I should upload a picture myself. That'd be fun. But also right here is critical. This is their status, and you can see here the list of the basic stages of registration that have been defined for this portal that everybody goes through, and they're broken down into just bite-sized, minute bits. And you know, one of the reasons that they're broken down is because we have pre-structured email templates to go to folks at each of these steps. So if they get stuck or they get caught in the process of the registration, we can send them email prompts or notification and initiate communication with them. Additionally, this provides us the opportunity right here that the manager could change the registration status as well, could close the account because they realize they're not who they said they were, and this allows for manual override, which of course is audited and recorded that I, at this time, from this IP address, changed this person's status. All of our investors go through an identity verification in order to ensure and create the beginning of a compliance profile. And this is the link so that you can see whether or not they passed and what their status was. This is very helpful if somebody fails. You can come in here and they're all mad and angry and say, your system said I wasn't who I said I was. You can come in here and find out exactly why. And for one of our investors, we found out they're living in California and they were applying for, or they lived in California, but they entered in a business address that was not associated with them from Nevada, caught by the system, has direct implications on what and how they would invest. So that was cleaned up. They changed that on their system, and then the identity verification allowed them in. So you'll notice when I added a user here from the admin, I was only allowed to add an investor, issuer, or resource. I wasn't allowed to add a manager, broker, or broker-dealer, and that's done on the back end by us. As part of your ongoing support contract, this is a software and a service. We've got folks 24/7 here available to help you out. All right. Do I have a question from you, Matt?
I have a comment.
Go ahead.
Go ahead, Sarah. I love your comments.
Sorry. Yeah, I just wanted to point out that on what you're using the users when you're in there and you're adding an issuer, that might be crucial for those of you that want to keep your due diligence kind of private. You can have it be a log-on from the website, but a lot of our clients are actually creating it here, providing that login information, saying you need, to change your password yourself, and then they can log in, change their password, and access the due diligence module. So I guess that's just really what I wanted to go over, which could be a concern to those of you that don't want anyone just accessing your system.
So that's fantastic, especially if you're not putting a payment gateway in place or anything like that. Here's my new issuer. Here it is. I can start adding in the contact information of that issuer in their profile. If we go to the status, you'll see it's pre-registered because the application process and the payment choice processes haven't been gone through. But you could do that manually offline or at a workshop and a seminar, and then simply change the person to a registered 200 level. Boom, boom, boom. Now they're confirmed as a registered. You could give them their email address and password, and then they could log in and change the password on their own. But that would be, now they're here. Anybody want to try could probably log in with my new issuer at theirdomain.com. with a user and a password of 12345, I think, just in case you wanted to try. I'm kidding. I made a different password because this will be recorded. So these are then the offerings. The same level of information is available to the admin as the manager. I'm building out the offerings. And as Sarah was alluding to, a lot of folks are not using the issuer application. Their team is building out these offerings on the back end themselves. So this is where they do that. This is where they fill in all of these different fields. When we were looking at the manager, I didn't talk about the private messages and public comments, but on the offering overview page in the investor application, there's an opportunity for a potential investor to send a private message or a public comment, kind of a blog comment. And here is where the admin can monitor and read those, answer the private messages, and curate the public comments.
Joe, since you're here, there was a question that came up as far as the escrow account for the issuer. Would it be the issuer opening up the escrow account for their personal raise, or would it be the portal operator, admin, campaign manager opening up that escrow account?
Yeah, that's an absolutely awesome question, and I really stumbled when I was explaining that earlier. There are actually 4 accounts open for every raised transaction. The investor has a trading investment account. The business has a business account on the system. The broker-dealer and the system automatically open the raise escrow. and then there's the broker-dealer account. So the money comes into the investor account. From there, the investor assigns it to the escrow. The broker-dealer confirms that the escrow terms are met, and then the money is split from escrow to the issuer's account and to the broker-dealer's account. And then from the broker-dealer's account, it can be distributed to the selling or originating brokers from there. And the issuer account can have multiple different kinds of escrow. One is that they can just receive the money all at once. Sometimes it's a staggered dispersal based on outcomes. You know, there's different kinds of escrow dispersal. So the escrow for the offer is created by the portal process and in approval by the intermediary, and then assigned by the admin from that list, the proper one. And the back end, the portal intermediary does that traditionally. Additional questions in that area?
No, I just wanted to add that the majority of those features are provided through BankBox as well to fully integrate all of the agreements and the seamless opening of the account to give the stream flow of the experience either for the investor or the issuers simple. It's as simple as can be. And that was our intentions, and we've gotten great feedback on it. So we're very happy with our vendors that we're working with in that regard.
Yep, and we should comment and mention it's a good time to do a little plug for SignX, our partner in Crowd Signature, which has created a unique digital signature solution for us that's very cost-effective for the portals and their operators, which is also integrated right into the system then, and all of those signatures for the investors, for the sub-docs, for setting up of the escrows, for approving the escrows, for distribution, all of those are fully digital signature supported. Great. I can keep plowing on then. This is the matching function. As many of you know, on the issuer side, they get to see a view of the offers, the offerings, and those offerings are sorted. And those offerings are sorted by a match to a investor profile. And one of the reasons it's done that way is to ensure that it is issuer-driven. The decision about what to look at is not being made by an intermediary based on a suitability determination, but is being based purely on the investor and what they choose. So the available opportunities here for the investor are those that they are qualified to invest in. Doesn't mean that it'll be suitable for them, but they're legally qualified to invest in. And then up here in the corner you see 20% match, 20% match. That's the match with their unique preference profile that they've created. In order for that to work, though, there needs to be a default preference profile for the portal, so that then that organizes the initial sort of a new investor when they log in or when the investor returns to their default preferences. So this is where the admin manages the default preferences. This is the list of variables that we have built into the system: business stage, industry, city, state, interest rate, payment period, raise category. And then within each of these matching criteria, like industry, the investor can choose from available fields, and they can change their preference, saying that this is not a preference, unimportant, moderately important, important, very important, or mandatory. And if they click mandatory, it actually filters the search so that the ones that don't have agriculture in this case or business services won't even show up on the list. These are incredible features for us to be able to share with you. These are all the different fields that are available. and you can change how they're sorted and searched by and how you look at them. But these are all the different fields that you can play with in the system. Right now, I don't know, what are there? 8 times 20, 160, 190 different ones. And as we build your custom portal, there will be even more here that will be associated with your unique portal and what you're doing. So for example, here's an SEC statement being uploaded. This is the uploading of a company's SEC registration. That's for a public company that's doing a private raise. Some of the fields will be appropriate for you, some of them won't. During our configuration, the ones you won't be using will be taken out, and the additional ones you need will be added in.
Joe, a quick question on top of that. Is this a mandatory preference match that our clients need to use?
Nothing's mandatory, but it is the system that we've built to be in compliance with the use of an online platform for the general solicitation and sale of a security. It's part of our default package to provide a degree of compliance. If a portal is able to or has designed an alternative way of meeting those same compliance requirements and has an attorney to sign off on that and gives us the business rules and requirements for a different model, we're more than happy to design that different model for them.
Yeah, thanks, Joe. Obviously, it's our goal to protect both the portal operator, protect the investors, and protect the issuers. So that's why we put as many gates in front to being compliant as much as possible. So that's definitely a strength in our.
So one of the upgrades I think is planned for August will be a pretty sophisticated search of the offers for the investors. So on the investor application where you have this offer, there'll be a pretty sophisticated search engine here. And that search engine will be based off of the same criteria of the preferences. So even if the portal chooses not to use the preferences for viewing the offerings here, they'll probably want to end up using them as part of the engine. We're using the same criteria for the search engine. So this is the offer builder, and this is the task builder. The offer builder is where you can customize the views for the offering page and the templates and the tombstones of those pages. The additional one that will be down here is if you're providing ongoing investor support, there'll be a support page here as well. So there'll be the investment overview, the tombstone, and the support page. This is for equity and debt. A Reg A Plus offering here would additionally have the different additional views that are available in a Reg A Plus, the interest, the gathering of general interest, and then the false offering, the prospectus flirt would be additional views that we would be able to program here specifically for a Reg A Plus offering. Sarah, you had a comment?
Yeah, so while you're going over Offer Builder and Task Builder, as the portal operator trainer, I also will upload 2 different offers for you as a standard. It's going to be your equity and debt. Depending on what you're offering as an investment product, maybe you won't need the debt, maybe you won't need the equity, but you can also modify it to fit what matches your network. And same with the Task Builder. I do upload our standard due diligence. You can see here, as Joseph going through it, that it's a standard template. We've got multiple different projects, and then they're also sorted into tasks. And within those tasks, you have data fields. So there's a lot of configuration you can do on your end. We give you a standard template, and then you can modify it. And it starts out with data fields, which is the smallest input that you can modify, and then you would group them into those projects and then that template. So while we give you some standard templates, you can modify them or you can create your own. So that's all I wanted to put in as from from my perspective as a portal operator trainer.
Fantastic. You know, and what I really appreciate about that, Sarah, is that it's really our job to ensure that when you launch your portal, you have what you're going to need to do that. So this task set, it's really important to us that the initial deployment of that task set is what you're going to need with your initial issuers. And then as you move forward, you know you have the flexibility to add new templates, add new projects, add new tasks, change those tasks as you're moving forward, change the fields that you're collecting, change what attachments you're uploading, change what the parameter requirements of those attachments are. You're not going to have 100% control. We're still going to have requirements and rules for how this operates to ensure the integrity of the system, especially the security of the system. You know, we had somebody trying to upload an 800 megabyte file yesterday, and the portal manager contacted us and said, oh no, it's timing out. There must be a bug in the system. And Hendra was able to immediately respond and say, you know what, we have a 10 meg limit on documents. We go much beyond that. We're really creating security vulnerabilities for the system. So let's look at how to break that file into multiple pieces for you to upload. So we're going to continue to play that role moving forward of ensuring the security of the system, the integrity of the system, the compliance of the system. I know that we've only got a little bit of time, but I'd like to kind of show you a little bit of this back-end application. We're going to go through this back-end at a different demo, but a portal operator has access to this application, which is part of the integrated solution as well. Of course, it's going to time out on me. Yes, please disable your system. Fantastic. So I'll just close it and come in again. It says up here in the corner, Open Apacista. And opening Apacista is really loading a back-end view of the entire integrated system, and all of the data is coming in and being cross-populated in a common system. And this additionally has different user views to be able to access it and look at it in a compliant format. But it has a whole bunch of the functionality built into the system is additionally here. So when you see us going to be doing an intermediaries view of the platform, this is what we're going to be showing. And just like to show one little feature on here as an example of that. Here, view email templates. This is where the email, all of the different email templates are viewed and are accessed and stored and recorded. And when I had those, if you remember back, I had those different, why isn't it letting me? I had those different stages that were associated with different emails that could go out. I was going to show off that these were all where all those little email templates could actually be viewed. So this is back based into that system. I can actually see all the outgoing mail that has been automatically sent out of the system. So we'll be showing this in an upcoming demo. It'll be called the intermediaries view of the platform, and I look forward to talking to you all then as well. That's what I've got, Sarah. That's what I've got, Matt. Back to you.
Yeah, a comment and then a question. When you're into that back end, going back to that question of the time stamping, that intermediary view is where everything is stored, whereas there's only a few different timestamps in the portal operator admin. Also, the question that I have here is, does the system integrate with our Microsoft Dynamics CRM?
We can, it's a custom integration, but we can do a custom integration to any of the major CRMs. So done it and happy to integrate it with yours. The key part of that is really figuring out what the business rules will be and what information is going to be pushed, what information will be pulled, and what information will be synchronized. We've got a great team. Lots of years of experience doing that. We look forward to working with you to make sure you have one seamless experience for your folks.
Sorry about that. I can show the information. I think everyone who's been on this the demo today, except for maybe a few, have our contact information. Matt, if you could switch screens to me, I can pull that up. But anyone who's interested in launching a portal should contact either Matt or myself. We'll go through the next steps in getting you pricing and what you need as functionality, and then we can go from there. Is my screen showing, everyone?
Yeah, your screen is showing great, Sarah. So
Great.
no, again, thanks everybody for joining us today. Thank you, Joseph. Thank you, Sarah. And again, please do call us if you have any questions, or if we weren't able to address your questions accordingly to what you needed. Do call us right away, and look forward to seeing you guys on our next demo and talking with each and every one of you. You guys have a great day. Thank you.